The story begins in a camp in Siberia where hundreds of Germans were held captive, although there were no guards for protection. But still no one dared to escape from here. In fact, even if someone escaped, he would not be able to survive more than a few days in the freezing cold of the Arctic Circle. But there was a soldier who wanted to get rid of his wife and daughter by any means and return. His name was Clemens Farrell, and one day he got a chance to escape. At night he climbed into the coal cart, and when the car left, he was very happy to see the sky full of stars. But suddenly the car stopped in the middle and Clemens secretly went out. He went out and saw, but then a Soviet soldier saw him and caught him and imprisoned him in a sewer. A heavy rain started from above, but despite this, Clemens remained there without eating or drinking for 3 whole days, after which the warden of the prison released him and said that he is waiting for you with you. They were angry and they were waiting for him with weapons in their hands. In fact, they were all starved for 3 days due to Clemens's escape, when suddenly they attacked Clemens and beat him like dogs. Being badly injured, he was taken to the doctor in the camp. That doctor was also imprisoned here and he was very impressed by Clemens's courage to escape. Then Clemens asked for help from the doctor and said that he wants to escape from here once again. The doctor explained to him that it is impossible to escape from the Arctic Circle. Till date, all those who tried to escape were killed. But the doctor told him a secret that those who do not run away from here will also be killed in the end. In fact, all the prisoners present there dig in the metal mines named rose lead, and the lead is slowly going into their body by air, due to which they are all sure to die today or tomorrow. That is why the doctor advised him that he should run away and try his luck. Then the doctor removed all his warm clothes and shoes and told Clemens that food was hidden everywhere on the railway lines. On top of that, he also gave Clemens a gun. In fact, the doctor had made all these preparations to escape himself. But a month ago, he found out that he had cancer, and even if he ran away, he was not going to live more than a month. Well, the doctor gave his lunchbox to Clemens and said that if you succeed, then inform my family of my death. Later that night, Clemens made another escape attempt. The next morning, when the warden learned of Clemens' escape, he went to question the doctor, only to find that the doctor had already taken his own life. Meanwhile, Clemens pressed onward with unwavering determination, braving the fierce winds and relentless snow. The warden dispatched numerous search parties to track down Clemens, but even after days of scouring the area, they found no trace of him. Most assumed he must have succumbed to the harsh winter conditions, but the warden remained convinced that Clemens was still alive and ordered the search to continue. 9 days after the escape, Clemens suddenly saw his sled running. Clemens also started running away immediately, but soon the sled reached him and trampled Clemens. Suddenly, Clemens's eyes opened and he saw that he was absolutely fine. In fact, this whole incident was a matter of his mind. There was a sheet of white snow around him and the food was also over. His heart started sinking and he asked God to do some miracle. But there was nothing but snow far and wide in the Arctic Circle. Now he had no choice. So he kept moving forward like this for a few days. Finally his body responded and he fainted due to hunger. After some time his eyes opened and he heard a strange sound. Then his eyes fell on a seal and his eyes sparkled. He immediately pulled out his gun and opened fire on the seal with trembling hands, but unfortunately not a single target hit him. When Seal started running, Clemens ran after him, but suddenly she entered the icy water. Well, he did not think much and shot and finally managed to kill Seal. After eating food, he tied bandages on his feet so that he could get some relief from the cold. After a short rest, Clemens again set out on his journey. In his loneliness and such a long journey, his mental balance could easily be disturbed, so he kept talking to himself continuously, as well as after walking a little. He used to see his direction from the compass so that he would not get lost here. Similarly, after walking for many days, he saw a tree in the middle of the snow. Seeing him, Clemens went mad with joy and ran and planted the tree. In fact, this tree meant that after 2 months of continuous walking, he had finally come out of the Arctic Circle. On the other hand, the warden of the jail still did not give up and ordered to search the area of 500 kilometers. On the other hand, Clemens had reached the forest, but suddenly a snowstorm started there. This storm was so terrible that even big trees were uprooted. As soon as Clemens woke up, a massive tree suddenly fell on him. Fortunately, 2 men named Sam, John, and Matten, who had come there in search of gold, saved Clemens' life. The 3 of them then started moving forward together. Gradually, the weather began to improve. The trio decided to cross the river using a makeshift raft. The three shared stories about their lives with each other. However, within a short time, the river's current became much stronger, making it difficult for Clemens and Matten to control the raft. Suddenly, Sam John lost his balance and fell into the river. Sam John was on the verge of drowning when Clemens, without regard for his own life, immediately dove into the river. After much struggle, he managed to bring Sam John to the shore. Meanwhile, Matten had left them behind and proceeded ahead on his own. When he reached his hut, he assumed that Sam John must have drowned in the river. Therefore, he stole Sam John's gold and other valuables. However, just moments later, Sam John and Clemens arrived at the same location. Sam John became furious with Matten's betrayal, so he shot and killed him. Afterwards, Sam John and Clemens packed their belongings and set off on their journey once more. Before long, the winter season began, making it even more challenging to press onward. Clemens then attempted to lighten Sam John's load by carrying his bag, but Sam John suspected that Clemens wanted to steal his gold, so he attacked Clemens with his own bag. Because of this, Clemens fainted. When he opened his eyes, he saw a pack of wolves running towards him. Clemens immediately started climbing a tree, but the hungry wolves were pulling him down by his pants. After many attempts, the small tree fell, and now death was staring Clemens in the face. Suddenly, there was a loud burst of gunfire, and all the wolves were killed. In fact, the shepherds of the area had saved Clemens's life. They picked up Clemens and took him to their village where several shepherds treated him. With their help, Clemens' body quickly recovered, and after such a long time, he was overjoyed to be among people again. He became friends with many shepherds, but soon a notice sent by the prison warden reached there. According to it, anyone who sheltered Clemens would lose their life. So, Clemens was forced to leave. Before he left, the shepherds gave him plenty of food and a hunting dog as gifts. Now he had a companion for his journey home, so Clemens didn't feel alone. They continued on like this for about a year. One day they reached a lumber mill where Clemens' dog ran off in search of food, but some workers chased him away. When Clemens came forward, the workers recognized him, and the mill owner fed him. Afterwards, they put Clemens on a train to Germany. He was about to reach home soon, so Clemens had a big smile on his face. But he didn't know that the mill owner had informed the police about him, and the jail warden was waiting for him at the train station with his soldiers. Luckily, Clemens spotted the soldiers at the station first, so he seized the opportunity and ran away. But within moments, the prison warden caught him red-handed. Now, all of Clemens's hopes were dashed, but suddenly his hunting dog attacked the warden, biting him badly. Thanks to his dog's loyalty, Clemens got another chance to escape. But then he heard gunshots and realized that the warden had killed his dog. Clemens mourned its death. He couldn't be persuaded and continued to flee. Spotting an opportunity, he climbed a bridge and jumped onto a passing train below. Once again, he had a narrow escape. Afterwards, he carried on his way. Time passed in this way until it was 1952, a time when Clemens had not a penny to his name nor any food. He was wandering around a fair where he saw various delicious foods, but the stall owners chased him away. While walking, he came across a pancake cart where two girls were serving. He had no money, so he walked on disappointed. A kind-hearted girl who felt sorry for him broke off a piece of her pancake and gave it to Clemens. Initially, he hesitated, but then he took the piece and ate it. Meanwhile, a Jewish man had watched all of this. Eventually, Clemens walked to a church and prayed to God. The Jewish man followed him, but did not turn him in to the police. As a former war prisoner himself, he understood Clemens's situation. He took Clemens to his residence. Clemens was slowly able to regain his strength with the Jewish man's help. The Jewish man gave him a passport and some documents which delighted Clemens. Using the passport, Clemens was able to cross the Soviet border, and after a brief questioning, he was allowed to go. Clemens was so overjoyed that he had to deliberately suppress his laughter. Finally, he was free. But as soon as he reached the middle of the bridge, a bright light shone on his face, and suddenly the prison warden appeared before him. Seeing the warden, Clemens was shocked and he quickly turned around, realizing he was still on Soviet soil. This meant the warden could still arrest him. Clemens's heart sank as his years of hard work and desire for freedom seemed to be crumbling away. But suddenly he saw the warden step aside. Clemens couldn't believe his eyes, but he slowly moved forward. In reality, Clemens's will to live and his determination to endure a painful 7-year journey to reach this point had won over the warden's heart. That's why the warden let Clemens go. However, as a soldier, he could have won by arresting Clemens and ending his escape attempt today, but he chose not to. Finally, Clemens crossed the border and reached his home where his wife and daughter were leaving for church. Clemens followed them, and in the church his daughter recognized him and ran to embrace her father. In your opinion, did the warden do the right thing or did he betray his country? Please share your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.